Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with Melanie Johnson, who is President and Chief Operating Officer of the Borgata in Atlantic City. Now, I was just telling Melanie, I actually was at the opening of the Borgata many years ago, and I've been there a number of times. It was really the best, it still is, I think, the best property there, along with the Water Club. And it really has a lot going on. And of course, now in the age of COVID, we're emerging from the crisis, and we're going to talk to Melanie about what the Borgata is doing and more, and you'll find out about all that on Insider Travel Report. Well, Melanie, how are you, and where are you? It looks like you're in your office in the Borgata.
Yeah, so thanks for asking. I'm doing really well, and I am in my office at Borgata. Yes.
Yeah, so when did the Borgata officially reopen for business, first of all?
We reopened on July 23rd for business.
Oh, great! No, so you've been out. It's so now literally almost a couple months now. And now, what kind of health and safety protocols are you following to sort of protect your guests and staff during the pandemic? I think you have kind of a 7-point safety plan, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because it's a great segue for me to really rant and rave about the extra safety measures that we have at the property. So what we did was we hired medical professionals and scientists to work in conjunction with us to expand on the CDC guidelines. We always knew we didn't necessarily want to be the first to open. We wanted to open when it was safe for employees and our guests. So we created this 7-point safety plan. So there's so many things that go along with this. I'd like to start about our clean air in the casino. Our HVAC system is designed to do 14 100% air exchanges on the casino floor per hour. And what does that mean? That means we exchange the inside air with the outside fresh air. There's 14 rotations at 100% per hour. Very, very proud of that to ensure that we're not recirculating stale air within the casino.
Yeah, we would have thought that clean air in a casino was kind of an oxymoron, but I guess you have the cleanest casino air around.
We've got clean air. We really do. It's a very expansive system, high tech. Very proud to say that we've got that. And it's not just with Borgata. That's a standard with MGM Resorts International at our properties. So very happy to share that. Secondly, if you come to the property or any of our guests that have been here recently, first point of contact is entering the casino, and customers and employees are required to wear their face mask. And we have thermal scanning upon entry. So you enter the casino and we've got a thermal scanner. If your temperature is below 100.4%, you're allowed entry. If it's at 100.4, we give you 5 to 10 minutes to sit down and cool off. It has been rather hot, and maybe you just need a cooling off period. In the event you walk through the thermal screening again and it has not gone down, we cannot allow you entry to the casino, but we give you information for health and safety protocols and where you can get screened to test for COVID-19. Mm-hmm. As you enter the casino floor, proud to say we've got 2 custom-built hand washing stations. Not everyone wants to use hand sanitizer, so 2 hand washing stations, completely touchless. Water, soap, paper towels. Also throughout the floor, we've got hand sanitizers and we've got the sanitizing wipes. But most importantly, for social distancing for our customers, we've got social distancing signage throughout the casino. Mm-hmm. On our table games, we've limited, as for an example, on blackjack, only 3 positions, so we've limited to 50% occupancy, and we've got polycarbonate barriers to protect our guests and our employees as well. Every other slot machine has been turned off for social distancing. If you're going to an ATM machine or a ticket redemption machine, there's social distancing signage on the floor and on walls where necessary. Hotel front desk check-in, social distancing, polycarbonate barriers. The one thing I'm really proud to share is our hotel rooms. We have added extra cleaning measures in the hotel rooms, and once the rooms have been cleaned and sanitized, there's a strip of tape that's put on the door. So when our guests approach their hotel rooms, they can see that this room has not been entered into since it was clean because the tape has not been broken. So customers are very excited about that. They know when they walk into that room has been clean and it's been sanitized and it's ready for them.
Well, you've always had very clean rooms in the past. Every time I've been there, they're wonderful rooms for Borgata and Water Club. And I guess this is just another extra level, right?
It sure is, and we're happy to do it.
Yeah. Now, for both Borgata and the Water Club, they're both open, right?
Water Club is not.
Water Club is not. Okay, I just wanted to check on that. I'm glad I asked. What about the restaurants, the shows? I'm sure are not performing right now. The pools. What about those other facilities?
Well, unfortunately, entertainment's not allowed in the state of New Jersey at present. We're only allowed to have 25% occupancy or a max of 150 guests, and this was just recently announced by the governor of the state.
Yeah, for their new restaurant rules. I know they just literally, it was just a week or so ago before we have this interview that they put that in, and I just saw that New York State is now at the end of September going to have 25% in indoor restaurants, which is thank goodness. But you can have 25% indoor restaurants now in the casino, in the resort, right?
That's absolutely true, and that went into effect last Friday at 6 a.m. So we've got our restaurants open. We're at the 25% occupancy or capacity at present right now, and we've got to ensure that we continue with sanitization and social distancing in the restaurants as well. So very happy. Customers are excited about this. The staff is excited about this as well.
Now, what about the pools and things like that?
We've got our outdoor pool at Borgata open, so that's the only pool we have up and operable at present.
And what about the spa? I was going to ask you about that. Is that open now or not?
The spa is open. Yes, we're open for business, and customers are very happy. So we've got our barbershop open. We've got our nail technicians in, our therapists. So open for business. We're ready.
Well, it's amazing because I think one of the things that people really missed were barbershops and hairdressers and nail salons from everyone I talked to. That's the thing.
Correct.
So you can go to the Borgata now and get all of those things. That's great.
Yes, you can.
Now, I understand you also had, you instituted a new outdoor dining concept, maybe at the time replacing some of those indoor restaurants. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Well, thank God we don't have to have those anymore, and our customers are so happy that they can dine inside. But when we had our outdoor dining experience, hats off to the Borgata food and beverage team, facilities, security, marketing, everyone who was involved. We were able to provide outside a la carte dining. We called it the Sun Bar at the Water Club. Very nice because there's 2 outdoor pools, lush foliage. It's on a very nice deck. We also had the luxury of having amphora at their gardens outside of the Borgata Hotel. Great atmosphere. You would have thought that you were in one of the islands at a wedding reception. Very, very beautiful. We also had Borgata Street Eats, which was a funky food truck with Mexican cuisine and a tented area for our customers to dine outside. And a staple of the property, weather permitting, is the outdoor Borgata beer garden.
Oh, so sounds good to me.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. There's some live entertainment out there. It's adjacent to the pool, outside, a couple of beers, great outdoor dining food, a nice experience. It was just beautiful. And we also, in the first level of our self-park garage, we had the Borgata tailgating out there. Since we weren't allowed to have indoor dining, we had seated areas for our guests to dine. We had music piped in and a bar out there as well. No,
it sounded like it's a great way to get around it. And now you have your restaurants at least partly open, which is great too, because as I think I was talking to you before that we started this, is that last time I was down there was for your food festival, and there was a plenty to eat and lots of great restaurants, and we interviewed a lot of the top chefs that you have associated with, and it was a really dining and culinary is very much a part of the Borgata experience.
It is. Great restaurants. I had the opportunity to dine at Izakaya's this weekend. phenomenal. I highly recommend Izakaya's Light Bites, Japanese cuisine. It's got this funky, fresh atmosphere. Great experience.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to do that as part of the food festival, along with a lot of others, and it really was a great experience. And I also learned how to make some kind of marzipan cake from a former White House chef, which I was not too good at, but I decorated it.
Okay.
And I think it sat in my refrigerator for a while. I don't know if I finally ate it, but it did look cool for a little while. Now, how has business been so far since you opened in July 20th, and particularly over the recent Labor Day weekend?
Business, we had a strong Labor Day weekend, very proud to say that. But of course, there are still concerns with customers because we're at 25% occupancy and we still have to abide by wearing face masks and social distancing. So there's still fear with some customers and they're not looking to get into a casino environment right now. But our admissions and our experience was much better than anticipated. So we exceeded our forecast.
No, that's great. And I'm sure as you emerge from the crisis, hopefully things will get even better. Now, I wanted to ask you a little about your background. What other posts have you held and when were you named president and chief operating officer of Borgata?
My first official day as president and chief operating officer for Borgata was May 29th, 2020.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, right in the middle of the heart of everything.
Lucky you.
Yay!
It's called a crisis communications job right away. But so what did you do before that?
Actually, I was the property president and chief operating officer for MGM National Harbor in Maryland.
Oh, I know that property very well, yeah.
Yes, beautiful property. I started there in December of 2017, and prior to that, I was with another MGM Resorts International property, Gold Strike Casino in Tunica, Mississippi, and I started there in June of 2015. But I've got roughly 23 years experience in gaming.
That's great. Now, because I was going to ask you, because few women, and of course few, if any, American women have headed up a major casino, except for you, to my knowledge. I never met anyone. Does you being named president and chief operating officer consider a milestone? Do you consider it a milestone, something that has been a long time in coming?
It has been, and when I coach young people right now, my story goes, I never had a playbook where Melanie Johnson would end up as property chief operating officer. My career started off in finance. So I have a bachelor's of science in accounting and I'm a certified public accountant. Mm-hmm. So when I started my career in gaming, I was a manager of financial accounting and reporting, moved up to a director of finance, then a chief financial officer, and decided I wanted to move into operations. Right. And I became a vice president of operations, a regional vice president of operations, an assistant general manager, and everything led to property president. So the pivotal point in my career was June of 2015. I was an assistant general manager at that time. And when I was hired into the MGM Resorts International family, I was hired as the president and chief operating officer of Gold Strike Casino in Tunica, Mississippi. And that was phenomenal. It truly was, because Tunica, Mississippi had never had an African American property president in its 20 plus years.
But let alone a woman who was also
let alone a woman, a woman of color.
Right.
So that was amazing and that was impressive. And I guess what touched me the most was seeing the sense of pride in my mom and my dad's face, and just making them proud made me proud, to be quite honest with you. And then having my kids know that their mom, it all paid off, and mom's worked really hard, but mom stayed true to form, because I do believe in taking care of my family. My career started a little later because I have 3 adult children right now, right. But they were my priority number one. I always knew when my kids were grown, I would still be young enough and healthy enough to spread my wings and fly and live the second half of my life on my terms and conditions.
Well, it's great that you've been breaking barriers here with MGM, and hopefully you've invited your parents up to see the Borgata when you got there. And now your kids can they're old enough probably to actually become customers. So,
they've got tickets. They're ready to get out here. My daughter loves the beaches. And when I told her about all of the beaches in southern New Jersey, she goes, I'm going to be there.
Well, Atlantic City does have one of the most spectacular beaches. I used to call it Vegas by the sea, when they were really trying to rebuild it. And years ago, when I was down there, I actually spoke to the Atlantic City Hotel Association when the Borgata was going up. And I looked over and I said, do you see that property over there? It's going to change your world. Now, it did and it didn't. It became really the seminal property of the resort. And, of course, there were some bad times to come for Atlantic City. And actually, that's one of the questions I have. What is Atlantic City tourism looking like these days? Are people coming back? Have most of the resorts mostly reopened now?
All of the resorts have reopened, but we're all facing the same challenges with COVID-19. So business is not where it used to be, but we're optimistically hopeful that it will regain its normalcy and then get better.
Yeah, no, and you have some fabulous properties, and I still think Borgata and the Water Club are two of the best, if not the best. And of course, that whole area, the marina area, really still has some of the best resorts around there. Although you go to Atlantic City, you can't avoid going to the boardwalk because it is so iconic. And again, that's where the big beach is. But I've been lucky enough to go down there a number of times over the years, and I have gone a lot to Vegas too. But it's kind of odd because you can go to the Borgata and just believe you're almost in Vegas, except there's an ocean and a beach. So that's
true.
A wonderful thing. Now, what are your plans for the Borgata as we emerge from the coronavirus pandemic? What's to come in the next year?
What's to come in cross-property marketing? That's a big initiative that we have. And with the MGM brand backing Borgata, there is so much that we can do to drive new visitation through air programs, cross-property promotions and events. So that's what I'm truly excited about, and I just can't wait for all of this to come to fruition.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to do with the property. I hope to get down there soon, maybe for another food festival, but that might not be until next year. But maybe I'll get down there before then. I do think Atlantic City, I've always thought, had incredible potential. And it really does have some of the best entertainment when you can do that again.
Yes.
And of course, Borgata was one of the leaders in bringing the fine dining and culinary to Atlantic City, some great restaurant names. And it really is a great place for people who want to just get away for a few days and explore and enjoy all that Atlantic City has to offer. Now, anything else you'd like to tell our travel advisors out there about Borgata and what's to come?
Well, Borgata is open for business, and we're a fully integrated MGM Resorts International property. You can come to Borgata and you will feel like you're in Las Vegas. We've got all the bells and whistles. We cannot wait until we open our doors and our entire facility comes back to life. We've got the restaurants. Hopefully in the near future, entertainment comes back, hotel experience, spa experience, and a pool experience. And can't wait to see all of you guys, and please come by and see us.
Well, we hope to do that very soon. Now, Melanie, congratulations first off on being named President and Chief Operating Officer of the Borgata, which is, as I told you earlier, is a hotel and resort that I've been following for quite some time since it opened. Great to see that you're in charge now, and looking forward to seeing what you're going to do with the place. And again, thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.